Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 40 of Direwolf20's Server Play series, just hanging out on Forgecraft2. I know Quetsy's around and I think Prog's in here with us, and I'm going to check out my quarry. How you doing, Prog?
Studying for finals.
Oh, good times.
Yep.
So let's see, my quarry's gotten down to Y level 55. We've got a decent amount of materials that we've already gotten coming into the base here. Obviously, tons of cobble getting voided, so that's pretty good. Let's go check on our base and see if everything's running smoothly. I probably just knocked my... Oh, there we go. Get back there, you. I just bumped that guy, that's all. No big deal. Cool. So let's take a look at our to-do list in here. Oh boy, that's a lot of iron and copper. Actually, my carts were backed up, so when I logged into the server, as I knew they would probably get backed up, remember I showed you guys, I probably had to set up some kind of rail signals or something to prevent that. We'll get there eventually. But for now, basically what happened is we have a little bit of a backlog. I'm considering adding an extra pulverizer or 2 or 3, and an extra redstone furnace or 2 or 3. Actually, let's take a look at this. Let's do this, actually. I'm going to go from considering to doing. Let's make 6 machines. That ought to do. Pulverizer. I know what I need. There we go. Let me get these set up. Alright guys, we're back. So I'm thinking something like this. I've got my pulverizer and redstone furnace. What if I set up my pulverizers like 1, 2, and I think I'm going to move this anyway, because this has just kind of always been in the way and ugly looking anyway. 3, and then the redstone furnace can be here, 1, 2, and 3. And we'll set these guys, configuration to accept items on the left and output to the right. That looks good. This guy will want to output everything like that. We'll turn off these guys. We'll actually set it so that the blue is on the top, like so. Orange, get rid of that stuff. Blue on the top, orange. There we go. Cool. So that'll be that. We'll use item ducts here. Should probably use the glowstone filled one. How am I for glowstone though? Because I might be a little bit low on the stuff. Yeah, very low on the stuff. As a matter of fact, I need to go to the nether. Hooray. So we'll do that, and then we'll do I don't know. Something like, let's get our wiring going. So we know we need, this is my favorite part about Morph. Here it comes. Oh yeah. Cool. Nice. Do I have any smooth stone on me still? Yeah, I do. Perfect. That looks pretty good, right? Yeah, not bad at all. So yeah, these things connect, but if we wanted to even make it look fancy, we just prevent them from. Haha. Alright. And then from here, we'll probably just want to item duct. Not to here. Let's get my view distance back to normal. And then we can kind of prevent these guys from connecting, and I can put a chest right here, couldn't I? You know what, I probably would use a cover to prevent that from connecting. There we go. Nice. Now we're talking. And then we just need to 1, 2, 3 these guys. And then we can do this. I should have my precision import bus, which we'll set to stack mode, and we'll just import everything into the AE system. Alright, so this is not bad. Not bad at all, actually. I'm getting a little compact in here with my builds, but that's what I like to do sometimes, just be as compact as possible. So let me get this set up, and I'll be right back. So I think what I'll do is knock this off, put all this copper in here. And I'm going to actually clean up this whole little system. We don't really have much by way of the ores coming in anymore, so I don't need Certus, Diamond, and Lapis. So I'm not going to replicate having that set up. We'll get all this out of here. Cool. So that is the point of no return. That's good. You can see I've blocked off the mining operation, so I prevented it from connecting here just a moment ago. So this will prevent the cart from leaving and going and getting more stuff, just because I do want to, get this set up. So let's go down here. I think might be a good spot. Yeah, this might work. So I've got a few impulses going on. Could run this straight into here. Nice. That looks pretty good. Where do you think you're going? Didn't I just see items coming down here? Ah! Had a feeling that might connect like that. Where do you think you're going? I know what I have to do. I have to filter this stuff. Let's get the filters on this. Not that it hurts for my ores to come down here and get pulverized again, but yeah, we probably don't want that happening. I have to set this to whitelist too, don't I? But yeah, this is the basic plan. Ta-da! You should bounce back now, or maybe after. A few more items should come down here probably and hit it, because I think it checks the whitelist as it's sending it, not once it gets there again. That's just a guess, of course. But yeah, we should be good now. So the only other thing to do is I should really have like a buffer chest, like a to-do list type of deal. So let's get ourselves, I had an iron chest up there. I'm just going to bring it down, I think. And that'll act as my buffer. You know what? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So let's do that. I'm going to grab you. You've got a bunch of stuff in you already. Let's break this line. And I'll just have to reset this up. But instead of doing all those chests, I'll just do the buffer chest like this. So we'll set it to whitelist and we'll put all this stuff in here. So that'll buffer up, and then we can, hey, there we go. Cool. Now it's running. And you can see it's going to continuously try and insert things. Now, obviously, it's just, we just tripled the ore processing capabilities of our pipe. No big deal, right? Cool. I'm liking it. Alright, good deal. Let's... Oh, that's so cool. Let's let this thing run. I'm going to get this copper out of here because that did pop down unexpectedly. This just kind of cleans up the upstairs area because now I've got like this nice open upstairs area that I don't have to worry about having all this stuff anymore. The only thing I didn't factor for is ferrous because I didn't happen to have one of those on me. But see, look how much nicer that looks. And I don't even need this anymore. If I'm being serious about it. Making things look good again. See guys, I don't always make things look nice, but eventually I get there. Nice enough. Cool. Alright, so what I'll do is come back in a few moments, And hopefully this will have processed a bunch of stuff, and then it's time to get back to work on our nuclear reactor, because I definitely need the power for that thing. Again, that's going to serve as basically my mass fabrication room. Everything that I could ever want to mass fab is going to occur in that room. I will have a solar power going into it eventually, and the nuke is for now going to maintain the mass fab and the replicator, but eventually we'll have it just working for the replicator, and then the mass fab will be running off of us HV solar. And who knows, maybe I'll eventually get a few more mass fabricators going. All right, for now, back in a few. I'm actually going to cover up this wall, I think. All right, let's see how the nuclear reactor came out. So we've got a pretty nice looking room right here, right? Not bad, not bad. Might actually want to get a little bit more hardened glass. And consider doing something like this. Tell me what you guys think. There we go. Yeah, I think that should be the way it is. And then I've got a plan for the door, which I think you guys will like. At least I like. Cool. You know what I should probably do too? I'm going to make this look nice. Give me a moment. So, let's make a drawbridge. I must have more than that. No bronze? Alright, let's get some bronze. I just need copper and tin, which I have plenty of. I'll get like 2 stacks of it just to be safe. We're also going to need a dispenser. So for that, we're going to need a couple bows. 1, 2. I'll make a few extra for future dispenser needs. In fact, I'll just make as many dispensers as I need for now. That'll work. Alright, close enough for drawbridge to work? Yeah, we're getting there. The one last thing I need is something I started crafting upstairs. It should be in here. Blank casts. Cool. Pretty sure the only way to make a blank cast is smelting it, so we're good to go. Cool. 1, 2, let's do 3 of these. And they're going to be facing upwards here. 1, 2, 3. Should look good. And we can make them look like glass or not. That's interesting. Wonder if hardened glass is a tile entity. That is an interesting question. I don't imagine why it would be, but that's... Oh, Prog's not here anymore. I was going to ask him how it would be that hardened glass can go in there. Oh well, that's fine. It should still be able to work like this. So 3... 3 and 3. Let's get ourselves a lever. No, it's not a tile entity. So why would that not work? I don't know. Ha! Cool. Alright, so to make this look good, I might have to replace just a little bit of stone under here and here just to kind of make it all look good. Let's actually do that now. 1, 2. 1, 2. So I was going to make it look like hardened glass, assuming that hardened glass would work, but oh well. No biggie. Looks pretty good like that, right? So how are we going to hook this all up? Check this out. So what I'm thinking I'd like to do is use signal bus and signal terminal, and I actually taught my AE system how to use this a little bit ago. So I'm going to get 4 signal terminals. Cool, right? And I'll get myself a couple signal buses as well. Awesome. These are going to be really, like, they're already really cool, but I get the impression they're going to be even cooler very soon. Because I think that they're doing some cool stuff on them, like, really soon, and we're going to see some awesomeness coming up in the very, very near future. So let's hop down here. Let's go into Tiny Bird. And we'll do 1, 2, 3. Perfect. We're going to want to hook this up to a signal bus, so let's put it like, maybe like right here. And then in the meantime, where do I want the lever to be? This is what's awesome about this. You can kind of put this anywhere, and you don't actually have to run cabling, really. It's kind of wireless, but kind of not, you know. So let's see, where would I like my lever to be? Do I want my door opener to be on this wall? Do I want it to be like up off a pedestal on the side here? It really doesn't matter. Like, how cool would it be to just have a pedestal like floating in midair with no wires connecting to it? Like this? That would be cool, right? Yeah, I mean, there's really no end to the options that we could have for the door to open and close. For now, let's put it, because I'm thinking I might want to have an automatic shutoff as well on this thing. So for now, we'll put it on this wall right here. And this should all work out. So I should be able to link this, right click here, come down here. And I'm not sure what the range on these is. I think it's something like 16 blocks, so that's why I kind of put it off in this direction, but see how the wires running to it? And then we can do 1, 2, 3. Ah, you ready? Are you ready? This is going to be awesome. You can tell I'm pretty excited about this stuff, right? Here goes nothing. Oh, that's so cool. That's about the coolest thing ever. How awesome is that, huh? Oh boy, accidentally morphed. Back to human form. Yeah, it was a squid. That's not a good thing to be. Ha! Cool. So that's how I'm going to get in and out of my nuclear reactor. We're also going to use similar design with signal buses and wires and terminals and whatnot. And I better make sure, I'm not sure how much more wire I might need, but I think I'm running low on that stuff. We're going to want a few more wires as well. But we're basically going to use that to also turn on and off the reactor. And we're going to measure things and all that stuff. So remember, you can also see the wires anytime you're holding this thing. So if we, were to hop down here, and as long as you have this in your hand, boom, you can see the wires. Okay, so that's how you know where your wiring is running to. Very, very nice design. Alright guys, so I just initiated an order for all the heat vents and everything else I'm going to need. It's going to take a minute or two to craft, so we'll be back when it's done. Alright guys, while we're waiting for the stuff to cook up, which I think shouldn't be too much longer actually, because it took me a while to make a lot of these prepared items that I need, I'm running some machines and getting them going. So let's see what we've got here. First off, I want to have basically the complete start to finish build for this system right here. So we're going to... Did I just place my thermal centrifuge? Of course I did. That's fine. Meant to be the ore washing plant there. Not that it really matters, but I like to have them in order of how they'll be laid out. And then finally the canning machine. So that's how that's going to work. I'll put my advanced rechargeable battery in here, and then I can recharge my electric wrench. Hooray! That'll also store some basic power to get me started. We will of course be generating power from our nuclear reactor, so pretty soon we won't have to worry about that. So just to be safe, even though machines aren't exploding now, I still got transformer upgrades for each of these guys, just because, I don't want any explosions. There we go. Because most of them can only accept, I think, 16, 16, 128, and 16. Okay, so that's cool. We've got power, we've got the machines ready. I do have my AE system ready to go down here. So let's get some cables and some interfaces. And we should be ready to set up a few nifty gadgets here. So we're going to put all these here, and we're going to set these guys all to output to the top side. So automatically output to the top for all these machines. Okay. There we go. And then interfaces. And then wrench them such that they point downwards. Perfect. So all these machines are ready to go and automatically take care of processing my uranium for me. The only other thing we're going to need then is a couple more, basically a couple of the, whatchamacallits. So let me, yeah. Oh yes, pig is a talking pig. Okay, so let's see, uranium. How do I want to set this up? Because I was going to say, like, all right, you get 2 crushed uranium from this, but there's really no way to say, like, We probably want to wash it first, then it'll give me purified crushed uranium. It also gives me tiny lead dust and stone dust, neither of which I care about. But then when you process this, you're going to get 2 piles of uranium, tiny, and 5 uranium. All right, that's not too bad. I guess I could put the recipe for each of these into the AE system, and then anytime it needs tiny piles of uranium, it'll use this, and then it'll, of course, have extra uranium set up. So that should be fine. As long as I put both recipes in there, it should be okay. So that's how I'll build the AE system auto population thing. So what I should also have while I'm at it is a suit. So I've already got my hazmat suit from earlier. I should also have rubber boots laying around somewhere. I do. Awesome. And a scuba helmet? Yeah, nice. Maybe I should even go repair these things just to be extra safe. Might not be a bad idea. Luckily, I have a method for that. Ars Magica to the rescue. Should be quick to repair. Yeah, not bad. Alright, let's get an armor stand set up, and while I'm at it, I'm also going to make a pressure plate. So the armor stand can go right here in the corner, and the pressure plate can go, well, maybe I should place it facing this way. That'll be cool. The pressure plate can go there, and then what I'll do is put all this stuff in. The cool thing about the pressure plate, by the way, is while the pressure plate, so like if you shift right click on the boots, it'll swap just the boots. But if a redstone signal is applied, when you shift right click, it'll swap your entire armor set. So if I stand on the pressure plate, it'll swap the entire armor set, whereas if I don't, it'll swap just whatever I'm clicking on. Cool, right? Since I probably always want to swap the entire armor set, I could probably just put a lever down here, couldn't I? That should work too. And get some stone out of here. Yeah, I guess that'll work too. So, always, that works. Cool. Alright, so we've got this guy ready to go. Let's get some uranium ore. And what I'm going to do is start processing this stuff. So let's get a few uranium processed. While that's cooking, I need to get water into my ore washing plant. You'll note that I have a transfer node, and I've got some transfer pipes. Do I have any buckets of water laying around? Probably not. Alright, that's okay. I do have buckets though, right? I've got buckets in here at the very least. One water, one not water. Alright. Let's get some water. Goodness, I move slow when I don't have haste on my boots, don't I? Oh, it feels like I'm inching along. Why am I so slow? Is this how people always walk? This is the worst. I need to get haste on, like, everything I own. Alright, back behind the wall here is where I'll set this up. Again, with the tiny bird to make this awesome. And there. Now if I put the transfer node here, and then break that, and then we've got a little bit of piping, and we're good to go with the ore washing plant having water. Perfect. Now, I didn't hook up the AE system yet, but we'll get to that in a minute. What I wanted to do is make sure, let's go back to human form, because I want to make sure I have my hazmat suit on. Macerator. Alright, cool. Crushed uranium. Awesome. Now I'm going to put a couple crushed uranium into my ore washing plant and let that wash it up. And then I'm going to thermal centrifuge it. I should actually put like 3 of them in there, I think. Cool. So I'm just getting the stuff I need. I'll be back once I've got everything processed and ready to go. Alright, so like I said, 1 of these equals 2 of these in code. 1 crushed uranium ore equals 1 purified crushed uranium ore in code. And then 1 purified crushed uranium ore equals 5 uranium. And I'm going to also tell it equals 2 tiny piles of uranium. So hopefully what will happen is if I say, hey, give me tiny piles, it'll go do its thing. All right, it's not in any of these, so I have to take them out. So that'll teach it how to do that. And then finally, we want to teach it that uranium, tiny pile of uranium equals enriched uranium. This actually does go into the AE system, so there we go, like that. So now we know how to make that enriched uranium thing. I also want to teach it the following. Let's I could probably put all of you guys away now. I don't really need you anymore. What I need to do is, which one of these is in extruding mode? You. Iron plates. Cool. Fuel rod. Okay. And what I'm going to do here is say iron plate equals fuel rod. And then I have to put in the extruder upstairs. Okay, that's this one, right? Yes, extruding mode. Fuel rod. Cool. And then finally, if I ask for enriched uranium, begin, you should be able to make that. Cool. If I said you and you together, now I have to go actually make it because I don't have enough to make extra, but that's no big deal. But this goes into the canning machine, and this will give us our uranium fuel rod. So canning machine, you two go together. See how that's working? And while I'm at it, I'll put the macerator, crushed uranium ore from run uranium ore. Cool. Purified from crushed. And these two can do these two things into that one. Perfect. You should be about done now. So we've got our uranium fuel rod. Let's go put that in the output of the recipe. And wow, this is brutally slow. But remember, even with the fuel rods, if you're carrying them around without a uranium suit, you're going to have a bad day. In other words, you're going to die. Encode this thing. Oh, I need some blank. Ha, perfect. I think I just ran out of glowstone. Awesome. All right, you come with me. All right, cool. So we, luckily, just set up what we need to do to craft uranium. Fuel rods, that is. So, let's come down here, plug this guy into this one. Yeah, that. And then we're pretty much good to go. All I have to do is connect my cabling, and then I should be able to request a fuel rod. Begin. Alright, so if we look, we should have... Alright, the crushed uranium ore going into the plant, because we've already got enough uranium, or almost enough uranium. We've got the 4 and the 1, so we know we need 2 more of this, right? So it's going to go ahead and do that. It's going to get that from here. So it's first off making this thing. Oh yeah, it's also heating this guy up. Cool. That's good. I like that. What I should probably do is instead of like requesting this on demand, I should probably just straight up process it. I don't even know why I'm not. You know, I could just say export it, you know, and have it running all the time. But maybe I'll switch that up once I have more power generation down here. You know, right now, not bad. Later on, you know, we might want to just have it straight up process automatically. I just wanted to do it with the recipe mode, more so to see how well it would work with these two. I think it's actually crafting double right now because it's going to request twice as much because it's realizing that, like, hey, I need more of this and I need more of this, so I'm going to craft twice as much of it. You know, it's not realizing that it can craft 1 to match its current requirements. Not that big a deal. But like I said, once I've got more power generation from this thing and I have more or less unlimited power down here, then I'll probably switch it out to just be straight up export buses on the top here, so that it'll constantly export and constantly run, just processing the uranium. And then the canning machine thing, well, that'll run on demand. Cool. Alright, so I'll be back in just a moment once this has finished processing and I confirm that everything works as expected. Hey, look at that! I crafted a uranium fuel rod. Beautiful. So everything worked perfectly. I got it exactly the way I wanted it to. So like I said, I'm probably going to swap these out with export buses and just let it tear through. But I, number one, wanted to test it out with the interface so that it's on-demand crafting. But as it occurs to me, it's probably a little bit slower than I'll want it to be because on-demand, it'll take a long time to process. But, you know, for now, I've got the CESU ready to roll. You know what? I could on-demand it ahead of time. We'll kind of leave it like this. We'll see how it goes. One way or another. It'll work. So everything's working. Now I just need to get the power going. So let's set up like this. Because the next thing I have to do is teach it how to make the quad uranium fuel rods. Because, wait, am I using quads or am I using duals? Oh no, I'm using duals. Alright, so that makes it even easier. dual uranium fuel rods is just an iron plate in the middle. Of course, I need, you know, a bit of glowstone before I can teach this recipe, so we're going to have to hold off on that. But basically, I'm going to be using dual uranium fuel rods. What I think I'm going to do is populate this guy with everything he's going to need right now. So all this is ready to go. I'm going to put a few things away here just so I can... Don't need any of you on me, actually. Wow, I'm really running out of space in my ender chest backpack thingy. That's okay. Let's get out our heat sinks. And I'm going to show you guys the pattern that I'm going to do. Now, there's a reason in particular that I'm choosing this design. It's actually something I'm really excited about. It's one, again, that, you know, as always, I am not that good at these design things. I'm all right with it. Like, if I really want to buckle down and mess around, like, what'll usually happen is I'll sit down and I'll remember how everything works, and I'll do all the math, and I'll come up with a really good design, you know, and then it won't be as good as one that I found on the forums anyway. And then 10 minutes later, I forget everything I remembered about how the design works. And then I go back to do this like a few months later when I'm at that point in the series where I'm ready to do nuclear reactors, and I don't remember anything about the math because it's all complicated and in-depth math. So in the end, I wind up just saying, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just grab one off the forums. It's no big deal. There we go. That should be good. Heat exchanger, please. Component heat vents. And you're going to go here. So the good thing about this design, last season I showed you guys a design that was very high efficiency. Basically, it got as much power as possible, almost 5 efficiency. I think it was like 4.8 something. Almost as much power as completely possible to get the... hold on a second, I'm missing something here. Did I miscount when I requested the heat vents, or am I missing one somewhere? I definitely need one more, so I must have miscounted. Luckily, it's easy enough to craft. So the reason I'm going with this method is that it's a very high EU output, so it produces, I think I want to say, let me see what it says on here, 360 EU per tick. It'll also output a total of 72 million EU per operation, so it's going to be able to generate a lot. It's not as efficient. It's only an efficiency rating of 3, so not nearly as efficient as the 4.8 or whatever it was in the one that I used last season, but the good thing about it is it uses a lot of uranium. And as we know, as we burn up uranium, we start getting plutonium, which can be used for all kinds of good and cool stuff. So that's the plan, is we're going to go ahead and produce plutonium as quickly as possible. This build that I'm going to use here produces pretty much as possible plutonium per cycle. I'm sure there's ways to get more plutonium per cycle, but this is a good reactor that's efficient and produces a lot of energy and produces a lot of plutonium. So that's kind of the plan. So unfortunately, we do have to wrap up the episode here. So we'll come back next episode. We'll get the uranium plugged in. We'll process all the uranium here. We'll build the auto refill so that it constantly automatically refills the nuclear reactor. And then we're going to build the, I'm probably going to have an MFSU down here. I'm thinking on this wall. So over here was where all the uranium is getting produced. And then over here on this wall, I cannot stand how slow I'm walking. Hold on. Oh my god, so much better. Alright, so this wall will be where I go ahead and I'm probably going to bump it out one. I did this on the other wall too, just because I didn't like... And of course I'm going to have to move everything that I just built, but that's no biggie. What I'll do here then is... Okay, good. See, trying to keep it fancy. Have all my... UU matter production on this wall. So we'll have like the mass fabricators, one at least to start with, and then maybe more, especially as we start getting into solar power. Then we'll bump it up and do some other cool stuff with the scanner and the pattern storage, and then the replicator to actually start producing things like iridium. So quite a lot of work to get done in this room, but I think it's coming along well. I really do like the way the levers worked out. So let's see, is this thing, can I place a lever on this thing? Probably not. Okay, so yeah, I definitely have to move this. That's not a problem though. I just have to go into the ground and get it moved. Shouldn't be a problem at all. actually. What's cool is when you break it, you get your wiring back, your lengths of wire. So, you know what it is, actually? I think it's 1 length of wire per block that you're traveling. That's interesting. I didn't realize that was the way it worked, but that's kind of cool, actually. So I'm going to set this back up right here. My spool of wire goes from here right back to here. So, Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Catch you guys next time. I think I need more wire. And as always, take it easy.